say in the US, everything works.
Yeah.
You know, I see my taxes, where my taxes go. You know, my kids go to school. The roads don't have potholes. Maybe Baltimore City, you know, once in a while. You know, my trash is picked up. You know, everything works.
Yeah.
Now, you're talking about a guy walking around with a career. This guy has
India.
a blowtorch.
India.
Nah,
is,
he's standing on top of a refinery.
India has become one of the most hostile places for Muslims in the world. Yet India has, a lot of people don't know this, India has the second highest population of Muslims in the world. You know.
What?
Yes.
Yes.
Number one is
So you know half the country is Nini.
no, it's not half. It's like
it
20. It's like 20%.
Yeah.
There are many
but
though.
they're already many because Indonesia is number one at 200 and something million.
Because I was watching a documentary.
Yeah, and then India I believe is number 2. India, Pakistan, they're way up there. But India has a very high number of Muslims.
So the
They're
president,
like 20% of the population.
president himself, that whatever party,
Narendra Modi.
yeah, whatever party,
BJP.
Yeah.
like what he did over there in is it Kashmir, where he, because it was like a protected state, a protected place. The guy just said, kinda.
Yeah.
I mean that. I have a problem with that, of course.
Yeah.
But
So-
these are level of these are part of self-regulation, because you really can't self-regulate, because the government itself is the one that is being hostile.
The government is encouraging people.
It's all it's because they believe in the majority. Maumbwa.
But you know, the human condition has always been to believe in something, to believe in a higher being. You know, anybody who has anyway, we always want to believe in something really innate, something like, you know, there's something above that actually is looking out for us. But then religion comes in, and you have these people who have some charisma and then want to use it to hold on to something, power, anything, and then they twist it around, unapata a whole bunch going in with it. Now, for example, like India, the dude is using religion to hold on to power, or to have his
to hold on to
people,
power.
doing what he wants, you know. So if he can keep on using that to make sure that his people are in line to do whatever he wants, then he'll keep using it. You know, as human beings, we just want to, and unfortunately, we want to use other people to achieve our own objectives.
And I think the problem with our political systems, which is where we need innovation. I mean, you're a computer scientist. Like computer science is all about innovation every day. There's no day that you guys don't think about innovation. So many different fields, besides even computers, is innovation. I've always wondered, how come politics is one area where experimentation and innovation is kind of not allowed? We have to stick to this document that was written 250 years ago, and then they make it so difficult to adjust it, to update it, and to make it fit, like current standards. So I think the current political systems, just like when the world at some point used to be mostly monarchies, at some point there was some innovation where people realized these monarchies, because too much power is being centered around this one personality, we need to come up with a new system. That's where the Americas came up with this democracy and everything. But this democracy also has, it kind of has its limits. Like it's been captured by special interests. It's been captured by, religion is now being used. Religion is being used to try and manipulate people and do all these extra things here and there. So I think there needs to be innovation that reduces the effect of this simple majority wins system, because this system is what now is being used to be able to as long as you can convince a certain segment of the population, as long as you can tap into their fears, then
that right there,
then you're gonna win an election. Now, there's experimentation that has been done. I don't know whether people know. There's I can't remember again what it's called. Ranked choice voting. Ranked choice voting, and I think New York City has already implemented it in their mayoral system.
Maine,
It's something like that.
San Francisco.
So under ranked choice voting, like it's kind of like there's a whole list of people, and then you rank, rather than just vote for one person, you rank them from your best to your list. If you get more than 50% as number one, then automatically you win election. But if you can't win 50% within that first round, because remember, even in American elections, rarely does the president, I don't know whether people know this, rarely does the president, the winner, ever get 50% of the popular vote. I don't know that people know this, but in most elections, I think Obama was one of the rare cases where they won 50%, and I think someone can fact check, but I think did Biden win 50% in this past election?
Popular vote?
A popular vote. Yeah. Someone can fact check that. Pablo neza kutuangalilia.
Reagan.
But it's not common. Yes, it's not common. So that means under this system, most of these American presidents would be subjected to a second round, because what happens if no one gets 50%, let's say there was a list of 5, the one who has the least votes is eliminated, and now you go to a second round without that one. Again, no 50%, the last one is eliminated. It's gonna go either until one person wins more than 50% of the vote, or until there's a matchup between two people. So this discourages this thing of only trying to attract one kind of audience and tap into their fears and potentially win an election. I think especially this American electoral college system, this is one of the most susceptible. It has failed the what do you call it? The electoral college, the popular test has failed twice in the recent past. It failed with the Clinton election. Sorry, not the Clinton, the Al Gore-Bush election. Al Gore won the popular vote, but Bush won the electoral college. It failed with the Hillary versus Trump election, where Trump won the electoral college. So it has failed twice in a period of 20 years. I think it failed a couple of other times a long time ago, but this is a time where we need to start looking at our political system, because these systems are the ones that breed such personalities.
But, I think they've said, I could be wrong, I could be absolutely wrong, but they've said, I think, maybe in the last 40 something years, one Republican president has won popular vote. None of them have won popular vote. They've always won the
electoral college.
Electoral college. But let me say two things. One thing, right? I was reading an article where this dude was talking about, I think he was in Denmark or somewhere, and he was wondering why Americans are so stuck in the Constitution. And this dude was explaining to him, like, the whole American political system is made in a way to be so slow that there are no radical changes. That's why they have the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is always trying to adhere to a document that was written I don't know how many 100 years ago,
200.
Right? Yeah. And then the way the House and the Senate are made, it's literally almost made in a way nothing goes quick. Everything has to go slow. People have to think about it. In a way, it's something that was they made it so that you don't get a dictator coming up, because they saw what the English king would do. So they made it purposely to be slow. So now that let me segue into the next point I wanted to make. You're talking about innovation when it comes to politics. Why don't we innovate politics as quickly as we innovate,
other fields?
Yeah,
medicine,
like in tech, or
tech.
Now, I think in a way we've been conditioned something to, and I keep talking about conditioning, because I think the human psychology, we understand, we get comfortable with something. we are comfortable with iPhone coming out with a new phone every year. We like that, you know, because you're like, oh, I'm looking for the new thing. I'm looking for the new thing. But then when it comes to politics, we don't like that change. We don't like that sudden change. Like, you know, like now we're talking about rank
choice voting.
It's so radical. It's beyond what we are used to.
No, that's
so
true.
We'd rather have something that is more not historical, but something we understand.
Something that we understand. But that's the reason why we have a system that's captured by special interests.
Now that it comes to that.
Yeah. So it's not. So what I was saying is we need to innovate it in such a way that whatever we come up with favors, you know, like let the system be captured by the people, you know, and not special interests. Because the system that we have right now does not work in favor of the people. It works in favor of what the special interests want, because the special interests have learned how to play around with it to get it to suit what they want.
But I think, and I could be wrong, I could be absolutely wrong, that we became complacent when, especially like, let's say hypothetically, like, okay, like let's say in the US, everything works.
Yeah.
You know, I see my taxes, where my taxes go. You know, my kids go to school. The roads don't have potholes. Maybe Baltimore City, you know, once in a while. You know, my trash is picked up. You know, everything works.
Yeah.
You know, so whatever that dude is doing up there, as long as my stuff is working, I'm cool. You know, so by becoming complacent and getting used to the old system of like, hey, I elected Smith. Smith is getting my stuff done. You know. Yeah. My dad voted as a Democrat, hypothetically.
Yeah.
You know, we've been Democrats all through, and stuff has always been done, you know. Now, you get those Mr. Smiths over there, they've been in the system. They know how the system works. Now, instead of catering to, they're giving you that, you know.
The visible stuff they're giving you. The visible stuff, they're giving you the roads.
Right.
But then there's other things, there's other organs in there that they're playing around with that you don't know, that are affecting the belly of the society.
And that's why now they're saying, especially in the US, American politicians spend more time raising money from special interests than actually going to dudes, listening to dudes. Like, okay, this is what, because I need, even, remember, and I'm not hating on politicians, this dude, that's his job, Pia. That's where anatoa kaunga, you know? So, am I going to come and listen to you, who will give me $100, or am I going to listen to one mic who's going to hit me like $100,000?
And that's where I think it will work in the favor of the people if there's some, not necessarily sudden disruption, but just innovation towards disruption. I think America needs another 1777, a constitutional convention. Remember, like we had bombers in Kenya? America needs their own version of bombers. The last time America had a bombers was in 1777. When they had a constitutional convention, where I think, no, actually the convention I think was in 1781. I'm mixing these years. Whatever the year it was, they after they, you know, like after they committed treason and declared, you know, like independence from the British monarchy, they started trying to figure out a way of creating a system, and it happened gradually. For those people who are familiar with American history, go read, you know, like the Federalist Papers. They have all these systems, and they're discussing, you know, like Republican systems, you know, like where you have a republic, or this system where you have states, and then, you know, they came up with what they have today, which did work for them, you know, like for a certain while, and it actually also, it worked and it didn't work. They had to fight a civil war for certain things to happen, for black people not to be seen as 3/5 of a human being. Certain events had to happen. So that's just what I'm saying. So back to, you know, like Shakahola, it's the same thing. We have a political system that favors such individuals to exist with no accountability. They'll go to prison and they'll be released, and nothing is going to happen to them.